Hello, guys. Welcome back, and thank you so much for being here. What's going on? Please like and share this video. So, I do have a quick update with regards to Comfort Emmanson and the Ibom airline fiasco. So, another flight passenger who was on, not flight attendant, another flight passenger who was on board that fateful day has come out to speak out, basically to tell everybody what he witnessed, and so we're going to be doing a reaction to that. Please like and share this video. Thank you. I did promise you guys that I will come back whenever there is an update, because personally I feel like somebody that behaves in the way that flight attendant behaved, she needs to be fired. But I also believe that they will not fire her. Okay, they won't fire her because she knows where the proverbial bodies are buried. She knows the secret. She knows who is doing what among the crew. So they won't fire her because that will create or cause a reputational damage to not just the crew members, but to also to the airline itself. So they won't fire her. But if it was up to me, if I have anything to do with it, I would definitely want her fired, because like, this is not the first time that she's been accused of this. So at some point, even the airline has to like think for themselves and be like, okay, something is not clean in this situation. What's wrong with this person? Maybe we should release this person so that she can go and get her much needed help. Anyways, let's listen to let's do the
looking at the way. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you, Common. I'm also excited to the fact that you're a lawyer. So we saw your statements. You released your statement, and I wish I could get to part of that statement maybe later. But you gave your own account of exactly what played out. If I summarize that statement, you were basically saying this lady was triggered. At no point did she refuse. But I'm not going to speak for you. You were on that flight. So tell us, where were you seated, your seat number, where was she seated, and what exactly happened that things escalated to the point? Because what you're going to tell us now is what none of us is... So none of us is privy to what you're about to tell us now. We've only had a statement from the Ibom Air, and now a lawyer who was not in that plane but briefed by Comfort has spoken, but you are an eyewitness. So, Barrister, tell us what played out.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm a lawyer, but I'm appearing this morning, and I'd like to just stick to that. Now, I was sitting to her immediate left. So I was on the aisle seat to the left. She was on the aisle seat to the right. So my seat number was 14B. There was a gentleman to my left who was on 14A. So her own seat number should be either 14C or D. I think the window seat is 14D, while she was 14C on the aisle. So we're right next to each other, and it was a small plane. So I think the distance between us was no more than 2 feet. Yeah, so I heard everything. I saw all that transpired. And yes, she was triggered. Even though the lady, the air hostess, the second air hostess who was speaking to her, was directing all her instructions to her, just me sitting down there, I actually felt humiliated myself, just looking at the way the lady was being spoken to. To be fair, Ibom Air instructed very clearly. The first air hostess that came instructed very clearly, no airplane mode, switch off your phone. After takeoff, then you can put on and put flight mode. So it was very clear. The first air hostess addressed us on the emergency exit road protocols. After she did that, she spoke to Miss Emmanson and said, please switch off your phone. She told her twice, and then this first air hostess left to continue her duties. The second air hostess, who is the one blocking exactly who is being shown now, that second air hostess now came towards us in the emergency exit and stood, even from her posture, see that she came for trouble.
Meaning, she wasn't even the first person that Comfort was talking to. From what this passenger is describing, this troublemaking air hostess, flight attendant, was not even the person that was communicating with Comfort. She just came and inserted herself in a conversation that basically had nothing to do with her. So that's my understanding. That's what I am understanding from this. And what that tells me is that she came for trouble. And even according to the passenger, her demeanor, her body language, like we are not children. If somebody is coming at you sideways, you can tell that this person is trying to start trouble. This person is trying to aggravate you or whatever. Like, you can always tell. We are not stupid. So yeah, I mean, again, if we look back now at some of the other thing or some of the other times that she has had encounters with other passengers, we can now see that she is a problematic one. Like I said at the beginning of this live stream, they are not going to fire her because she knows where the proverbial bodies are buried. She knows secrets. She knows what pilots are doing. She knows what other contraband and whatever other things that pilots are flying in and allegedly, okay? Allegedly. But yeah, there are so many reasons why they will not fire her unless they pay her really handsomely and tell her, shut up your mouth and just go sort yourself out, basically.
And Miss Emerson had been fiddling with her phone. I noticed she was trying to do some stuff. I don't know. And so she told her again, switch off your phone, switch off your phone. And Miss Emerson said clearly to her, I heard it. She said, please, the buttons on my phone for switch off are not working. They are not working. So I don't know how to switch it off. And the woman said, no, switch off your phone. So that back and forth went on. So at a point, that's the second.
Can I just say this? Because I have seen some people in the comment section saying, how can a grown woman don't know how to switch off your phone? You use your phone every day. Some people are so biased, even in the way that they reason certain things. You can just tell that they want things to go exactly. They want, the conversation to go in line with what they want. Who among us here haven't had a phone malfunction? Like, if you use technology, you know that sometimes it just doesn't respond to you, especially depending on the area, depending on the network. So many things can be a factor as to why your phone just won't respond to you at any given moment. It is so interesting how, because of people's personal hatred, anti-women sentiment, they never give a woman the grace. They were mocking her, saying, oh, you cannot switch off your phone, you also cannot spell general or something like that. I just shook my head. I'm like, what is wrong with human beings? Like, I hate you guys, seriously. Oh my gosh. Everyone is acting as if they've never been in a situation where things that are so easily done, things that your day-to-day, things that are second nature to you, sometimes when you are under high performance, when you are under pressure, something that you used to do every day just end up being so difficult. There is nobody here who has not experienced it. Nobody. There have been times when I personally, and I'm quite savvy, okay, I'm very, very technologically savvy, but there have been times when I'm trying to like power off my phone or my computer or whatever. It doesn't work. Sometimes you just leave it. Sometimes it might take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes before it powers up itself. Things happen, especially when there's a lot of pressure, and things just happen. But no, when it comes to the Nigerian woman, nobody wants to give them grace.
Else I said, look, you're even using an iPhone. So you're even using an iPhone. They are not working. So I don't know how to switch it off. And the woman said, no, switch off your phone. So that back and forth went on. So at a point, that's the second else I said, look, you're even using an iPhone. So you don't need a button to switch it off. So the lady said, okay, I don't know how to do it. Can you do it for me? And she said, I'm not touching your phone.
How do you mean? How does she mean you don't need a button to turn it off? Hey God, has that woman ever seen an iPhone before? Seriously. Hey.
I'm not touching your phone. Just switch it off. She said, I don't know what to do. You don't need a button to switch it off. So the lady said, okay, I don't know how to do it. Can you do it for me? And she said, I'm not touching your phone. I'm not touching your phone. Just switch it off. She said, I don't know what to do. So the lady now said, okay, go to settings. And when you go to settings, go to general. So the girl was holding and said, see, please, I can't understand what you're saying. I can't read. I don't know what you're saying. It's saying where I should go to. The woman, the second hostess now told her, I don't have time for your nonsense. Please just switch it off. She said, I don't, okay. Mr. Martin now asked, can you spell the general? So the air hostess started actually saying G, okay, G, then E. So that was the point that the gentleman on my left and I said, come on, what's going on? You know, calm, don't speak to her like this. Let's, you know, the second air hostess did not even acknowledge her. She didn't even to my side to even see that someone was speaking. So at that point, I asked the gentleman to arrive. I said, please, can you just help this lady? You know, I don't use an iPhone. I've never used an iPhone.
And to the people saying she could not spell general, again, maybe she didn't hear everything that this person was saying. Maybe she wasn't clear. I failed to accept that Comfort did not know how to spell general. That's just something that I will not accept. Okay, imagine being put under pressure, being humiliated, so much so like you're being disrespected, so much so that onlookers can actually tell that you're being rude, that your energy is off, that the person's energy is off. Okay, imagine being in Comfort position. This air hostess is talking at her sideways. She's being disrespectful again, so much so that other passengers can tell that the flight attendant is being rude, and she's embarrassed by the situation, and she cannot really hear her like that. And she's asking, "Okay, can you do it for me, or can you spell what you want?" If she didn't know how to spell, how would she know the alphabet to type if she said spelt it for me? How would she know the alphabet to type if she didn't know how to spell general? Make una dey suffer o. My understanding, my belief is that she didn't even hear when she was giving her the instruction on how to turn off the phone. She didn't even hear. That's what I believe. It's not like she didn't know how to spell. But yeah, but that's a narrative that works well with everybody. Let them run with that, Abi.
So I'm not too familiar with settings and all of that. So the gentleman to our right now took the phone and started trying to sort it out. So when that was going on, Miss Emmanson started talking to the second air hostess and said, why are you embarrassing and you like this? Why? I mean, why? And then the air hostess told her, you better keep quiet now. If you say another word, I will deal with you.
Can you imagine? Now you born a bitter soul. How do you love this attention that you are getting now, Madam Air Hostess? Can you imagine, person where you're not born? You might be old enough to be her mom, but you're still not her mom.
That was when Miss Emmanson flared up and started cussing. I cannot say the things that she was actually saying because the language was very flowery and X-rated, I can't say. So that was when this second air hostess said, okay, you see. And then she left and went towards the front of the airplane. She never came back. At least I don't recollect her coming back through the aisle throughout the flight. So that is exactly what transpired. So after that happened, the gentleman to the right switched off the phone or whatever it was he did. And a couple of passengers tried to say, switch off your phone, don't risk our lives, blah, blah, blah. And then we told them, no, that's not what happened. She never said she wasn't going to switch off her phone. She was trying to switch off her phone. She said she had issues switching it off. And so the passengers calmed down and we took off. So that is what happened. But it was clear, at least to us on the emergency exit row, it was clear that there was a problem here. She needed to be handled very well. Because this lady kept simmering throughout the flight. She was cussing. I could hear her because I was right next to her. She was really upset. She felt as if these people are just against me. And why? She said she bought this ticket with her own money. So why should they treat her like this? That's what she was saying, and that's what I'm hearing. And I can't tell you what the other thing she was saying because they were really nasty, but she wasn't directing to anyone, but she was just talking. So it was clear that she was angry. And the second air hostess, the aggressor, kept checking, kept peeping to see how things are going at our end throughout the flight. I noticed it. So the passenger by my side, as we're approaching landing, we're like, God help us, so let's get out of this plane before anything happened. And we were saying it in jest, but we also knew that something was off. We're so worried that I discussed with him. I said, okay, when they were telling us to stow away and put everything ready for landing, the lady didn't even hear any of that. I told her, I said, we're landing, switch off your phone, put it away.
Do you guys see what I just said just now? What did I just say? Didn't I just say that the fact that she was asking the lady to like spell general, it was not because she could not hear. It's because sometimes you can't hear when you are on board the airplane. There's so many things happening, so many noises from here and there. So much is going on at the same time, lots of commotion. It's not because people now want to run with the narrative that she's uneducated or whatever. I'm sure by the time she finally grants an interview, you people will hear that she's not uneducated. She's not somebody who cannot spell. She just couldn't hear. She just couldn't hear what was being communicated to her.
Then the second air hostess, the first air hostess, the very polite and amiable and professional one came, helped her to stow away, helped her take her purse, put it in the cabin on top, and was very professional. So all of that happened, and then the plane landed. Once the plane landed, the first air hostess, the professional one, came to the front and started disembarking by room. Just before it came to our turn, Ms. Emmanson left and went back. And I presume she went to the toilet. I used the toilet myself in flight, and I noticed that the only apartment at the back is the toilet. There isn't even an apartment, cabin crew and all of that like regular thing. This one is just the toilet. That's the only. So that's why I presume she went to the toilet. So when it got to our turn to disembark, those of us on our road disembarked and we went out and totally forgot about the whole part until the videos and all came. So that's what happened. This is what I heard. This is what I know happened. Issue of airplane mode. That didn't come up, at least I didn't.
So, Mr. Ogebe, first of all, if I heard you correctly, you said Ms. Emmanson said she couldn't read. She was even asking that general be spelled.
Oh, yes. That is what happened. So whether she meant that she couldn't see properly or she couldn't read as in wasn't literate, I don't know. But that's what she said. And the second L said started spelling. Okay, G, okay, E. That's what happened.
Okay, but because in subsequent interactions, she didn't sound like somebody who wasn't educated.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to...
Exactly. Is that not what I'm saying? She could not hear her. That was what the situation. Nigerians, make una dey suffer you. Make una dey suffer you. Matter way clear like this. Now one twister make it for sweet. Put mangi, put ajinomoto. Make the thing sweet well. Hi, Joyce.
To put that out, for a clarity, if we can get clarity from that. But talk to us about, you're a lawyer. I don't know if aviation law is your specialty, but talk to us about the appropriateness of the handling of the situation, how it could have been done properly without it resulting in the altercation between Ms. Emmanson and the Ibom Air staff. How should they have handled it if they were going to read her the implications of what had happened and how it could have been better managed, so to speak? Because other aspects to this conversation are to the effect that even in international flights, once phones are either switched off or put on flight mode during
Okay, so that's the video. I guess what they're trying to ask is how did they behave? Did they behave professionally? Personally, the second air hostess or flight attendant, in my opinion, did not behave professionally, especially when you take into consideration the fact that this is not even their first time. There are so many people coming out to say, this woman has done this to me before, this woman has treated me this way before. So it just tells you that this is not an isolated incident. This is something that she does on a regular. And this is why I think she should be fired. But do I think that she'll be fired? I don't think so. Again, all these people, they are too involved, they're too into whatever fraudulent, alleged fraudulent things that they are doing, and they worry about what might happen if they fire one unruly staff. Okay. But anyways, that's what that's all I have for you guys today. Wanted to bring you guys this update. Yeah, please like and share this video. Bye. Bye, Joyce.